Hey, welcome back. Have you ever met a legend? Have you ever met someone whose work will live many, many years after him? You will today. My name is Vin Dacquino. Our guest is an amazing artist named Charles DeSimone. Charles.
Thank you.
It is such an honor to meet you.
Thank you. Same here.
You are such an American, skilled artist. You have captured baseball memorabilia. You have captured President Lincoln. You are an amazing artist. Who is Charles DeSimone, and when did he start this passion for painting?
Well, and again, that's a long time ago. As
well, you're 55 now?
Yeah, I'm going to be 56, sure. In any event, I've always had a fascination for drawing. And in my youth, I went to a high school of art, followed by a college of art, and then went into the workplace as an art director. And
Wow.
worked as an art director for many advertising agencies on a creative level. And the only time I had to paint, my passion for painting, was on the weekends, until finally I was able to do it more time, painting. And around 1990, a good friend of mine, Harry, asked me if I would consider doing some baseball paintings. And I said, only if I can make a contribution. That being said, you know, nothing much was really done in baseball art. Baseball art never played a prominent role.
Too busy watching the game.
That's exactly right. The fine art community never kind of flagged baseball in any way or fashion. I guess it wasn't clearly an investment product at the time. And same thing with sports collectibles. Art painting, baseball painting doesn't really have a great following. And so in view of that, making that contribution, he asked me, he said, why don't you come to a baseball card show? Take a look. You never know. So I said, okay, I'll take you up on that. Sure enough, we went to the Westchester County Center in White Plains, New York, and we went to this baseball card show. It was a huge show, many, many dealers. And I started walking around, and I'm seeing bats, autographed baseballs, pennants, pins, postcards. And all of a sudden, this creative idea came to me. Why don't I, if I'm going to do baseball, a depiction of a player in baseball, why don't I add the memorabilia that reflects that player?
Yeah.
That's unique. That's very different. And it takes a lot more work, but
everything you do takes a lot of work.
I was willing to do that. And so there it was, the concept of adding memorabilia to the depiction of a player. And as I kept walking around, I noticed there's a retired ball player. It looked like he was autographing, and he was. There was a long line of people holding stuff that they were going to have him autograph what they were carrying for a fee. The retired ball player was charging a fee to sign anything and everything. I said, wait a minute, that's another idea. What if I have the baseball player autograph the canvas that I'm depicting of him?
Wow.
I thought that was to me a big idea.
It is. Oh, huge.
So I was all set. And at that point, I started to buy baseball books, magazines. I went to trade card shows. I went just about everywhere to accumulate the memorabilia that I could to depict these ball players. I also defined who I was going to paint, and I decided on just painting 20th century baseball players, beginning with DiMaggio
wow.
and ending with Cal Ripken Jr. and all the great players in between, what they call the golden age of baseball.
Wow.
And so I thought a minute, when I got home, and I said, wait a minute, if I'm going to get the autograph of a retired ball player, like I saw today, here it is 1990, and he's a player from the 50s, that's going to make him at least 40, 45 years old. And before he became a major leaguer, he was in his 20s. That makes him in his 60s, possibly 70s. I think I better get his autograph as fast as possible.
Yeah, you gotta hurry up and do this.
As soon as possible. So what I decided to do is I took a dozen canvases and I painted one baseball on a blank canvas, just one baseball on a 1620 canvas. And when I saw the ball player appear at a show, I took that canvas to the show and had him autograph right on the baseball that I painted.
Brilliant.
So now that I have his autograph, I don't have to rush doing the painting.
Yeah.
I can do the painting at any time.
Just paint around that ball.
Exactly. That's exactly what I did.
Brilliant.
And so I started to collect the autographs. I started with initially getting 4 Joe DiMaggio autographs because there was a lot of memorabilia about Joe D.
Yeah, Joe
and
D was
Mickey
big time.
Mantle and Yogi Berra and Sandy Koufax.
Charlie, how many paintings did you do of?
The book, well, I'll talk about that soon.
We'll talk about the book soon.
I did 160 player autograph paintings. That had taken me 22 years.
Wow.
22 years. And each painting would take me about 3 to 4 months. This is oil painting.
It's a lifetime.
Yeah, I got to tell you. And when you're dealing with oil paint, it's not like acrylic or watercolor. Oil paint takes time, not to dry, but dry to the touch.
Charlie, I don't want to rush you, but I want this audience has got to understand what we're talking about.
Yes.
We're not talking about paint by numbers.
No.
We're talking about incredible artistic work.
Yes.
Look at that painting.
Yes.
That is not a photograph.
Yeah.
That is an actual painting. Tell me about that.
Well, like most of the paintings that I've created, these paintings are storytellers. I think of the paintings with the memorabilia and the information that I'm rendering to the viewer, as well as copy that complements the paintings. For example, the Joe DiMaggio card at the top, that's a 1939 play ball card. That's not his rookie card. But in back of him is a postcard, actual size, of early Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
And there's a little picture of him swinging the bat, which designate what his number was, number 5. You go to the left, and he's got his arms around 2 other people. They happen to be his brothers. That's Vince. That's Dom
Dominic,
DiMaggio,
right?
Yeah, Dom DiMaggio on the right, who played for the Boston Red Sox, and his brother Vince DiMaggio, who played minor league for the Seals in San Francisco. And then below that, DiMaggio had a restaurant in San Francisco. Those are the matchbook covers. And below
these
that,
are all paintings, not photos.
Yeah. There's a picture of his competition. He's talking to Ted Williams in Yankee Stadium. What a wonderful, talented combination of players.
And that ball, is that the ball that started?
That's the ball that DiMaggio personally signed for me.
You did that ball, and then you did all those paintings around that ball?
All around, just around the blank. That's correct.
That's amazing.
Then I found a picture of Hilaric Bradsby bat that DiMaggio used. And then below that is his famous swing, which a lot of people have seen that swing before. And also the Yankee pin, which he played for the Yankees. And just as importantly, in the right-hand corner,
there she is
a picture of Joe D. with Marilyn Monroe.
And you, again, I just can't get this through my head. You painted that photograph.
Yes.
That's not a photograph.
Yeah,
you painted that
right,
photograph.
It just looks like it's pasted down photograph.
That's amazing.
And at the bottom of that picture, I found an article in People magazine. This is an article, and I took a piece of that, and what it stated was, DiMaggio telling the Undertaker, make sure that none of those damn damn Kennedys show up at the funeral.
Oh, is that right?
That was taken from People magazine.
Oh my God. That's amazing. All right, we must move to the second one.
Sure.
Tell me about this one. There's the famous ball in the middle there. And then what is this painting?
That's a picture of Mickey Mantle. As you can see, he's batting left-handed.
Wow.
He was ambidextrous. He can bat left-handed or right-handed. Very few great players can do that well. And again, the memorabilia, that's a 1950 rookie card. It's a rookie card, not his 52 Topps card, but this is a 51 rookie card of
Wow.
Mantle. And to the left is a postcard of the infield of Yankee Stadium, and then some pictures of him. And I thought it was a wonderful picture of him batting.
It sure
with
is.
with the catcher.
All right, let's go to a second one.
Sure.
A third one, sorry. Oh, wow.
Okay, this is interesting. This is a Rocky Colavito, and the book that I bought and copied, the actual size book, it's the book that's titled The Curse of Rocky Colavito. And what that was a book about was that in the height of his career, in Rocky's career, he was all of a sudden traded to the Detroit Tigers for another player. And it just kind of left Rocky not being able to really be in the Hall of Fame, which he deserves to be in. And that's a glove. That glove that I painted was a gift by Willie Mays, gave that to Rocky Colavito. I don't know why, but I guess Willie Mays liked Rocky Colavito. And then the copy that goes with that painting, the writer, a brilliant writer by the name of T.S. O'Connell, he wrote about Rocky Colavito, and he wrote about the women that went to the ballpark, got as close to the field as possible to watch Rocky Colavito do contortions with his bat. I mean, that's what the women were looking for and watching. And
now, another thing I want to point out.
Yes.
That baseball, you actually copied with your paintbrush
Yes.
the signature that these ball players wrote on that ball.
No. You're
Did
saying
they actually...
the baseball that you
It's
see
on the
there?
thing. That's actually the signature of the ball player?
That's the actual signature of the ball player. That's Pee Wee Reese's autograph.
Wow.
All the paintings are personally autographed by the player I
The
depicted.
player themselves. So you didn't paint that autograph.
No.
That's a real autograph.
Yeah, a lot of
Oh
people
my
think
God.
that I didn't. If I'm going to do, I'm a very ethical person. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right and be very honest about it.
Holy
and
cow.
here's a painting. I think it's a.
It's one thing to have a famous ball player's autograph.
Yes.
To have it on a painting like that.
Yeah, I have 160 of them.
160.
Yeah.
How unique, how amazing.
And
Brooklyn Dodgers, I happen
This
to
is
be a
the
little
Brooklyn
partial to the Brooklyn
and
Dodgers.
this is the 1947 Brooklyn Dodgers, and in the lower right-hand corner, there he is, Jackie Robinson.
Yep, and
That
Roy didn't quite make it yet, right?
Yes.
Roy Campanella?
Campanella, that's right.
Yeah, didn't quite. He came 48.
That's right. He came a
Yeah.
little while later.
Yeah.
So I thought it was
You
important.
need to do it over.
I thought it was important
Yeah.
because, as you know, the Brooklyn Dodgers left in 1957, and
Yeah.
I just wanted a record of this wonderful Brooklyn team
Yeah.
called the Dodgers, and they were affectionately called the Bums because
Yeah,
they never won a
that's
World
right.
Series
That's right.
until 1955.
Amazing.
So-
Next. Oh, what is this?
This here, this is an interesting one. This is the 1969 World Series winners, the New York Mets. So I decided to do the entire team of the 69 Mets, and I had 6 ball players: Ed Kranepool, Tom Seaver,
Wow.
Clendenin, Swoboda. I had them all personally autograph one of the baseballs.
Oh, my God.
And then I did all the memorabilia. Here's another picture. I painted 25 baseballs because I heard that the entire 1969 Mets were going to appear at a baseball card show. So I brought this painting and had each ball player autograph a baseball, the whole team.
Charles, do you own all those 160 paintings still?
Yes, I do. Well, I've donated some of them to museums. I've donated to the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. They asked me for a DiMaggio. The Louisville Slugger Museum in Kentucky, they asked me for a Hank Aaron, and I gave them. And then
And you gave
yeah,
them.
donated it. And then in Washington, D.C., the MCI Sports thing asked me for a Mickey Mantle. So I gave that sports museum in Washington, D.C. a Mickey Mantle. And I'm going to continue to donate.
And the rest of them are available for a mere $10 million.
Well, that will be the future. Oh, and there's Cal Ripken Jr. Here's a painting when he broke Lou Gehrig's consecutive game record of over 2,000 appearances and playing baseball. And there he is running around the stadium, shaking hands with this wonderful thing he did.
And these take you about 3 months to do?
Yes, each painting takes me about 3 to 4 months to do. If I do a team, that'll take me 6 or 7 months to do. Because the faces are only a half inch in height. So I got to make sure they look just like the player I'm painting. For example, you haven't seen it, but some of the paintings have grass. And what happens with the grass? The grass takes me 6 coats of paint. It takes me 6 weeks to do grass. And let me say this, I do 2 undercoats. The 3rd coat I start doing blades of grass. The 4th coat I delineate the blades of grass. And I have to wait a week for the green paint to dry to the touch. And after that week I can give it a 2nd coat, a 3rd coat, a 4th coat. So that's how long the grass takes me, 6 weeks just to do grass on a painting.
This is the Marilyn Monroe, this is the DiMaggio one again, right?
Yeah, that's one of the early
Are we back to
DiMaggio.
the beginning?
That was the beginning, yes.
All right. So.
That should.
Charles.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I cannot believe what you have here.
Thank you.
You've created all those amazing paintings.
Yes.
Now, with the autograph of the players.
Right.
Do you have any idea that just the autographs alone are worth a fortune? And then to have this painting, this history of them on there, all hand-painted by a great American artist.
Thank you.
You don't even consider yourself a great American artist.
No, I don't.
And you are.
Yeah, well.
Now, I need to tell the public something that they're not going to believe.
Yes.
I have in my hand a copy.
A sample. I made a sample book.
A copy of all those paintings that he's done. This is an amazing story of the paintings, pictures of all the paintings. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know how many copies of this book exist? 1. I'm holding it. Can you believe this? Charles, we went to dinner together one time, and when I saw this, I nearly fell off my chair. I said, "What are you doing with that?" He says, "Well, I'd like to find a publisher." Are you listening? This book has no publisher. It is the only book of its kind, and it captures all of those paintings that he just talked about. This is unbelievable. The great work of an American artist.
Thank you.
Signed paintings by the people he wrote about. It is unbelievable. So if you are a publisher, if you are an agent, if you are a baseball fanatic, we need this in the public hands. They have got to see what this man has dedicated an entire life to.
22 years.
22 years. Charles,
that's what it
you
took.
have no idea how proud I am just to even be in the same room with you.
Thank you.
The ability to paint is one thing.
Yeah.
But you captured America.
Yeah.
You captured the heart and the passion of millions of Americans. You know how many people go to baseball games all the time? You know how many people revere the people you captured?
I would hope so.
Oh, there's no question about it. It's just unbelievable.
There's one other thing, if I may mention. It was important, if I'm considering doing a book, I needed the best writer I could find. I could write, but I need somebody that really knows baseball. And I was familiar with a friend. We were friends, kind of friends, where I subscribed to a tabloid, which was a digest, Collector's Digest, Sports Collector's Digest, it was called. And he was a former editor. His name was T.S. O'Connell. He was an editor for Sports Collectors Digest for 17 years. So, and I submitted pictures of my paintings, and he occasionally, with other artists, he depicted in the tabloid pictures of these artists that did the baseball painting. So I called him, and he lived in Wisconsin, and I said, "Hi, T.S., Charles DeSimone. Listen, I was thinking, I think I'd like to do a book, but I was going to ask you if you would be the text writer to this book." He said, "Of course."
Oh,
I
wow.
said, "I got to tell you, my wish came true."
Oh, yeah.
I
would have been jumping up in the...
I got to tell you, this was a writer. And then he said something wonderful. He said, "How do you want me to write this one?" This is an editor asking me how he should write it. I said, "Look, T.S., I think statistics are important, but more importantly, I would like you to write about the personality, the character of the player. That's what viewers want to know. They want to know more about the player. What kind of a person was he?" And so he wrote copy second to none.
So he did 160 of these.
Yes, he did.
Oh my God!
And I said, "Look, T.S." He said, "How long do you want me to write this?" I said, "Look, write it as long as you have to, as long as you're satisfied with the amount." And I said, if the copy is a little long, I may have to cut a paragraph or a couple of lines. I will call you first. He says, "Don't call me, just cut the copy."
Wow.
He trusted me. By the way, this book, I'm really a fanatical kind of a person. I designed every page as carefully as I could. I wanted this book to be as tasteful as any book could ever be. So I was in control of every element in the book. And the type, I set all the type, and then just about everything. And so what happens now is I have a thumb drive of the entire book.
Wow.
And all a publisher, and I welcome someone contacting me, that all they need is the thumb drive, and they need a press and paper, and they can reproduce this book with no other charge than printing it.
If you are a publisher, if you are an agent, you get an email from Charles DeSimone, I have a suggestion for you. Open it as fast as you can, because he is now looking for someone to get this out where it belongs. You are not going to believe. You don't even have to focus on this, folks. I just want you to see.
I think there's an address, Vince.
You have all this. Now, how do you get a hold of them? Put it up there, folks. This is how you reach Charles DeSimone if you are interested in helping to publish this book. America needs this book. CDESMO@hotmail.com. Say you saw it here. Say you're interested in helping Charles to get these out where they belong. Charles?
Thank you.
Oh, no. Thank you, sir.
Really, it's wonderful. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, I have a question. What are you doing these days? Are you still painting?
Yes, I am. Yeah. I thank goodness I finished baseball, and now I'm doing another collection of paintings called Americans Remembered. There's a lot of people in the past that have passed away that deserve to be remembered.
Exactly.
So I decided I was going to paint those people that I felt important. And
who are they, Charles?
Neil Armstrong.
Wow, yes, you're right. Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln, exactly. King.
Wow.
Jr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Wow.
And I did one of the, I did, it's so funny, it's tough remembering all
yeah,
that.
Tell me
I did
about
about 20 of them so far.
Wow. So you have all of these 160,
yeah.
And then you have another collection of great Americans.
Yeah, Americans to be remembered.
Now, is that in a book form?
No, it's just paintings right now.
Just the paintings.
I'm going to continue
And
doing,
try to get that collection.
keep doing more paintings until we finally come up with something to do with them.
I hear you. When you do mine, make sure you get the side.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You are an American icon.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you are a wonderful example of the sad truth that many wonderful artists and writers never get noticed.
Yes.
And they live an entire lifetime. It's not too late, ladies and gentlemen. This man deserves to be recognized for the great artist he is and for the great American he is. Did you ever get the hint that this guy is an incredible patriot? He caught our American pastime, and now he's catching all of our American greats in his artwork. We've been doing it for years. Kings and queens. They get captured for posterity by great artists. Well, so do our baseball players. The artist also needs to be recognized, not only the subject.
Thank you.
Charles, I wish you the absolute very best.
Thank you.
I will do my best. When you leave here today, you're going to leave with a DVD of this show.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
I urge you to make copies and send them out to agents, send them out to publishers. Let them see who the great Charles DeSimone really is.
Thank you.
And I know you are so modest.
Yes,
You're the last one to toot your own horn. So I'll do it for you. I have no problem with that, Charles.
Thank you. Thank you.
Keep on doing what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For being
thank
on
you
the
for
show,
inviting me.
and thank you for keeping America in your heart and in your passions.
I strongly believe in our country.
No kidding.
Let me tell you.
Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for being part of One-on-One with the great Charles DeSimone. It has been our honor. Thank you for being here with us.